Dude, I should have gone to jail at least like 5 times. But especially for back when we were kids, I can tell you, I think one time we 100% should have been in trouble for breaking and entering, stealing, for I don't know what other misdemeanors, definitely not felonies, but at least some misdemeanors. And let me back up. So my brother and I, we had a time period. I'm sure most brothers, family members, siblings have a point in their life when they're younger where they just don't get along. Maybe they got along when they were younger and then they hit like teenage years, but we weren't even teenagers yet. We were like, I guess like 12, like almost teenagers, but not quite teenagers. And we hit a spot, man, where we were just colliding. We hated each other. Well, I hated him. I don't know if he hated me. I'm pretty sure he hated me too. But we would get into fights, and both my parents worked. So I still had a 2-parent household, but they both worked, and they were never there. So there were times, I guess it was like summer or spring break or something, but it was like a weekday where we were home, and nobody else was home in the neighborhood, if that makes sense. You know, so it had to be like a spring break or a summertime. So we get into a fight. And it's not much of a fight. I'm skinny and little, and my brother's like big and strong. You know, it's like Iron Man versus the Hulk, but I don't have the Hulk Buster suit, okay? So we get into it, and I remember I'm in my room, and he's in his room, and we share a wall, and he has his speakers against the wall, and I'm beating on it like, shut up, turn your speakers down, stop it. And I would go, finally we ended up in the hallway, and I'm like, I'm going to call mom and dad, and I'm going to tell, and this and that. Well, he goes, we only had a phone in the living room. It was in the kitchen, actually. So our kitchen was like an open concept. So we had the living room, and we had the kitchen. And so he goes and he takes the phone, and he hides it in his room, so I can't call our parents, which is diabolical. Like, who does that? So he hides the phone, so I can't call our parents. So we're fighting, and I remember I'm trying to find it in the house. I didn't know it was in his room. So, long story short, we end up in a confrontation in our hallway. And in our hallway, it was like our rooms, and then our parents' room, and then down the hall was like a bathroom. And then we started kind of fighting towards the bathroom, from our bedrooms towards the bathroom. We're fighting. And at some point, he grabs me and he slams me head first into the bathroom door, and my head goes through the bathroom door. So I'm like on all fours on the ground with my head in the bathroom, and I can see around, and we just start laughing. I don't know if we're both crazy, but it ended up being like the funniest thing we had ever seen. So we end up pulling my head back through the bathroom door, and we're laughing. So we're no longer fighting, but after a few seconds of laughing, we realize we're gonna get our ass beat. We just put a hole in the bathroom door. It doesn't matter if he put my head through it or if I put his or whatever happened. Our parents are gonna beat us. Well, my dad, not really our parents. So at this point, we realize we got to come up with a plan. So we get an old suitcase, and we're walking to see if I can trip and hit. We're trying to come up with just stupid scenarios of how the hole got there. So we can't come up with anything that's viable, anything that's remotely can come. We don't have a plan. We're kids. We're little. We can't come up with anything. There's no way that we can figure this out. And then, how I said earlier, we should have gone to jail or something. I come up with the greatest idea ever. Our homes were what they call track homes. So it was like every third one was the exact same. They were all identical. They were patio homes, and they were all duplicates everywhere. So I come up with the idea. I'm like, all right, look, they have to have an identical door in another house. So we knew that there were some empty houses in our neighborhood. And my dad had taught us how to break into houses. Now, it was for positive things. he was in like real estate or recovery or something. And so we had to know how to get into houses to unlock the door to, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember what exactly it was for. I always thought it was on the up and honest. Now I'm thinking maybe we just learned how to do breaking and entering just to do B&Es, little bacon and eggs. I don't know. So we get a screwdriver and we pop the broken door off the hinges. Then we go down the street and we're very careful. Remember, it's like summertime, so nobody's home. We go down and we break into the house, a couple houses down. And then we go back to our house. We grab the broken door. We take it down to the to the house we just broke into. We take the good door off because we match it, and it matches, perfect. So we take that, we put it on the hinges at the broken house. We take the good one and we take it to our house, and it fits, and we don't say a word. And we don't say a word for 20 years. And a few years ago, my brother and I, we told my parents. And of course, we're all adults now. And my mom is like mortified. She's like, oh my God, I cannot believe like you did something like that type of deal. My dad is like, I'm so proud of you guys. That was genius. Knowing damn well he would have beat us back then. Anyway, that's like one little story of chaotic Tweeter D. First, that's one little story of the chaos that I grew up with. Now I have chaos in my life from this guy, old Tweeter D. You know, now I feel like I should call my brother. He'd appreciate that. He'd appreciate this story. God, those were fun times, though. Try to think if we ever did anything else like that. I mean, we did a lot of bad stuff. Like, I have stories for days. You know, it's funny. I think about stories I want to share on here. I'm like, oh, this would be great. And I think back and I'm like, oh my God, that was so funny. And as I start to like play it back in my head to tell you guys, I realize they're not that funny. I mean, they're funny to me, but they sound horrible. Like traumatic. Like I'm dealing with trauma, which maybe I am. I don't know. Oh my God, am I dealing with trauma? I don't know. Maybe I am. Now I'm like reflecting on this. I'm like, because I have stories where I've split my head open like 3 times. You know, I've been hit by a car, run over by a boat, stabbed, cut, shot, fallen off roofs. Oh man. And they all were fun, you know. I was like, oh, that was so much fun. I don't know if I got in trouble. I'll tell you another chaotic story. All right, this one, I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh at this. I think it's hilarious. I don't know if I can tell that one. What's the statute of limitations on doing something bad? Is there one? Can they still get you? Oh, did that guy die? Oops. You know, now I'm like, do I get in trouble for some of these stories if I tell them? Like the one for the breaking and entering, I was like 10. Yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to be in trouble for that one. I don't give a shit. Now you got me wondering. Do I tell this other story? I don't know. Maybe I hold on to that one. Whew. I'm serious. Now I'm like really, like, can I get in trouble? Nah, I can't get in trouble. All right. How does it make me look? See, these are the questions. I should run it by you guys. Like, hey, what do you think about this story? All right, look, I'll tell you this one. So, for argument's sake, it was an accident, okay? It was an accident. No, I'm just kidding. It was an accident. It was an accident. I was roughly the same age. I was 10? I had to be like 12. No, oh my God. So it was like 3rd grade. I don't know how old I was in 3rd grade. Just off the top of my head, I can't remember. but just, it was like 3rd grade, okay? And, shit, it was 2nd grade. 2nd or 3rd grade, it doesn't matter, but it does, but it doesn't. I was like 2nd or 3rd grade. I'm at this guy's house. We'll call him Chris. I'm at Chris's house. And at old Chris's house, he's one of those kids that he's done everything. You know, if you're like, oh, I can throw the football, he's like, I can throw the football further. If you're like, oh, I can run fast, he's like, I can run faster. You know, you get what I'm saying. So, I'm trying to think of how to tell this story the right way. I know it sounds dumb, but... Raptor bit my butt. So, I know I keep saying so I'm gonna have to edit this because it's getting really long. He says he can climb trees. I used to love climbing trees. I don't know if you kids climb trees anymore, kids out there, or if you adults. Tweeter D, I doubt you ever climbed a tree. So, we used to climb trees all the time, okay? Tree forts, tree houses, we just love trees. We climb trees all of the time, okay? Well, I'm at his house, we're hanging out, and he's like, I love to climb trees, because he has an awesome tree in his front yard. So I'm like, all right, let's go climb this tree. So we go to climb the tree, and as we're in the tree, I'm realizing he can't really climb very well, I don't think. It just looks shady, it looks like he's lying. Anyway, he starts talking trash in the tree, and we start kind of having like a shoving match, again, in the tree. And I don't remember everything that happened, but at one point, he pushes me, I push him back, and he falls out of the tree. And he falls out of the tree, and he runs away screaming, and he goes into the house, and I'm like, wow. Nerd. I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. I probably did. But he runs away, and then his mom comes out. I climb down the tree, and his mom comes out. She's screaming. Like, it was like chaos. And he's holding his arm. Long story short, he broke his arm. But they had to put me at the neighbor's house because my parents had dropped me off there. Remember I told you earlier, my parents both worked. So I got dropped off walked over to the neighbor's house. It was this weird lady, and she had like glass figurines like everywhere. And we weren't allowed, and I wasn't allowed to like talk. So I had to like sit in silence. Yeah, I had to sit in silence. And I remember I kept talking. I kept asking questions. And it was kind of like, shut up. And I'm like, I don't know how to not talk. I have ADD. There wasn't ADHD back then. It was just ADD. So that was a watered down version of that story. Just so I don't get in trouble. That was your watered down version of the person who I call Chris falling out of a tree. That's right, he fell. He fell. I pushed him. Yeah, I pushed him. It was an accident. I didn't plan to push him out of the tree. I just pushed him. Because he was in the way. Yeah, that's bad. I pushed him out of the tree. I mean, I'm assuming I had to... We were fighting. It had to be legit, right? It couldn't be like, oh no, I guess it could be an accident. In my head, it was on purpose. It's all right. They got payback. Not that kid, but just kids. We all got hurt. I remember we had a rock fight at our school. Yeah. Talk about, we had a lot of brains back in the 90s. Late 80s, early 90s. We had a rock fight. And I remember we were having a good time. They had put dirt mounds. They were redoing our playground at our school. And we had a rock fight. I don't know. And I remember we're throwing rocks at each other. We're like humming them. Wham! And Travis, our buddy Travis got hit in the eye. And then we had to stop. We all got in trouble. No more rock fight. But the thing is, they let us have the rock fight for at least a little bit. So the teachers, they totally let us do it until someone got hurt. So yeah, so rock fights, that was like, it was normal. We used to play hide and go seek on the roof. So I was telling you about our houses. They were patio homes. So the patio homes, if you've ever seen them, the brick walls all connect. So you could run along them. So we would play on those until somebody fell off a roof. We still kept playing a little bit because we were kind of like, that guy's just dumb. But, God, that was fun. And then, of course, I got hurt. We ended up having another rock fight. And this was before, actually, Travis got hurt. We had a rock fight, and I had my shirt, like, it was with my brother, and I had my shirt kind of like a bowl, and I'm, like, crouched down. Like, I'm crouched, and I'm collecting rocks, you know? Like, I'm, like, putting them in, like, my shirt. And they ended up throwing a big rock, like a huge rock. It was like, you know, we're little. I was in, like, I think first grade at the time. And they threw a big old rock over. And my brother moved. And I'm sitting there, and it goes wham! And it hits me in the head. And it knocked me out for a split second. I saw tunnel vision. So it knocked me out, saw tunnel vision real quick. And then I came back, and I was like, oh, my God, what was that? And my brother was like, oh, no. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm sweating so bad. Did it just get really hot out here? No, it was blood coming all over myself from the head wound from the rock. So I got it too. It wasn't like I was innocent to the whole everyone's getting hurt in rock fights. And so that one was fun. Sorry, I'm blowing my nose right here. Trash can. See if I can make it. I did not make it. I am not going to lie to you and act like I just totally drained that. I did not. I missed. God, I got to work on the ums. See, this is all work in progress. I get that it's live, but I got to do better. I can't start telling these stories and then, hey, I made that one. And then just be like, sorry. I'm just all over the place. More chaos, though. I know how it was all calm. It's all quiet in the game. Hello, everybody. More chaos. I don't know. It sounds creepy. Let's do it again. Why not? So, I'll tell you another split my head open story from the same neighborhood, same group of kids, same everything. So that was the rock. That was the second time I split my head open. So I think that was maybe second or third grade as well. Because the first time I did it was like first grade. So, me and this guy, Luke, we were in a fight in our living room. We had He-Man swords, and we were playing. All right, he had a He-Man sword. I didn't have a He-Man sword. I should have had a He-Man sword. So, we're like fighting, and we did a lot of fighting. And we all stayed friends. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but we all stayed friends. But we were fighting. And at one point, he grabs his He-Man sword and starts swinging it at me and trying to, you know, trying to get me. Well, I lift up like a couch cushion to keep him from hitting me. And I honestly have no clue what we were fighting about or why we were arguing. I have no idea. I don't think anything was that big a deal to where it merited a He-Man sword to the face. But he was working on it. He was trying to get me. So, I lift up the couch cushion, and he's like, wow, trying to get it. I'm like blocking. And he ends up kicking the cushion. And I fall backwards, and I like fall to like a sitting position. Ah! And I fall to like a sitting position and roll like in one motion, like boom, boom. And as I fall back, my head goes into the corner of a tile fireplace, and it just gets stuck in it like in a movie, like a horror movie. And I'm stuck there. And I remember the sound when I pulled my head out. And now my head's out and there's blood. And I don't know there's blood yet, but my adrenaline kicked in. And I jump up and I knock the sword out of his hand and I punch him in the stomach. And I remember he was like, and he runs out of my house crying. And I'm like, ow, I don't know. And my dad comes in like, what the hell just happened? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't feel good. And I hug him. And I remember he's wearing a white shirt with like light gray stripes. It's like a polo shirt. Yeah, it was a polo shirt. And I remember I hug him. And I get blood all over. Blood all over his shirt. And I remember for a moment he was kind of mad about it, but he was like, "Oh no, you're hurt. Let's get you down." So this was the first time I went to the emergency room for my head being split open. And the reason that matters because when I went back again for the rock hitting me in the head, the lady, we was like the same hospital people. And they're like, "You again?" I'm like, "Yeah." So the first time I got stitches, and the second time I ended up getting staples. Which I thought staples were a new thing. I thought it was really cool. I was like, wow, I'm getting staples in my head. This is awesome. Oh, and I remember I had to go again that same summer. I don't know if y'all have ever, Google it. Google alligator snapping turtle. So we went, we found my brother and his friend. We used to walk around in the bayous. I know, just, I really think it sounds a lot grosser than it really was when we were kids. But whatever, it probably was disgusting. But again, I don't know, man. I don't have answers for all of this stuff. So we used to walk around the bayous. And so we're in the bayous, and my brother and his friend Sean, they find, the two of them were like the biggest guys of the groups. They were like the leaders. They find an alligator snapping turtle down, kind of burrowed in the mud. Please, please do yourself a favor and look up alligator snapping turtles. It's these huge prehistoric turtles, have long nails, and they bite. All turtles bite, but these are like alligator bites. Like, they will fuck you up. Sorry for my language. They will mess you up. And they catch it, and we find an old backpack. It was an old blue backpack. I'll never forget. And I don't know, man. It's just like little brother, big brother thing. And there was like a group of us. There wasn't like just three of us. There was like, we used to like, oh my God, we're like a gang. We used to travel around in packs. So there was like a pack of us. Anyway, they get this alligator snapping turtle. They both fight it and get it out. And they got claws. They're all bleeding from it. And they stick it in this backpack. And they're like, let's get somebody to carry it. And they're like, "Hey, Pixel, you carry this in the blue backpack." And I'm like, yeah, all right, I can do that. So I decide to carry it. And I'm walking with it. And I'm just thinking, it's in the blue backpack. It can't hurt me. That's that childhood thinking where, like, you have no, I don't know. Maybe it was just because we were younger and dumber back then. I don't know. But I thought it was all safe and good. Like, nothing can hurt me. It's in the backpack. We're walking maybe 10 minutes. We get up to the top of the bayou and we're walking. That damn thing bites through the blue backpack and takes a chunk out of my knee. Yeah. What's up, Rudy? Good morning, man. Or good evening. I don't know where you are. But he takes a chunk out of my knee. And I like scream, I drop the bag, and I'm like, ah! First it was like, it bit my knee, and I like had to pull it. So when I pulled it, that's when it took the chunk. Is the guy not here? Did he run? Oh, there he is. So it took a chunk out of my knee, and I'm like crying. I would start crying. I'm like, oh my God, this is the most pain that I've had. And right all about that time, a cyclist comes riding by there's like a trail at the top of the bayou. And he sees me, he's like, what happened? And he sees the turtle, and I'm like, oh no, I wasn't crying yet, that's right. Oh my God, I wasn't crying yet. So he bites me. So the turtle bites me, I pull out, it kind of rips my knee, has a chunk, I'm bleeding. And I'm like, oh my God, and the cyclist comes by, and he goes, oh man, did that turtle bite you? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, you're gonna need a tetanus shot. You could get like rabies, or he says something about the tetanus shot. And I was fine at the bite, but the thought of getting a shot made me cry, and I was like, no. So that made me cry, which I ended up having to get a shot. Bangladesh! What's up, Bangladesh, man? How are you? Oh, man. Good evening over in Bangladesh. Oh, man, I miss my Bangladesh peeps. Me and my Bangladesh boys used to play Farlight. Oh, man. I'm glad you're checking us out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, man, I miss the Bangladesh crew. Oh, Farlight. Why'd you have to break us all up, Farlight? So anyway, I ended up getting a shot. It's alright. I was fine. I can go on and on for stories for days. I'm just trying to make sure, like, I can... A lot of them aren't, like, that friendly. Like, they sound funny in my head, and then I'm like, ooh, that was bad. I probably shouldn't tell that story. Like, I have some where I've gotten, you know, thrown from cars, but those were fun. See? It sounds fun. Like, oh, that was fun. Like, there's some stories where I got thrown from cars where it's not very good. It's like we got into a car accident, and, you know, don't worry, I made it. I didn't die. But did you die? Oh, man, we got everything. Look at that. Completely finished the map. Teamwork and the power of Grayskull. See? More with the I gotta work on that. Like, I remember there was a friend of ours going to work, and this was, I guess this was high school? It wasn't middle school, so it had to be, like, maybe, like, my freshman year. Like, I was in 9th grade, so maybe, like, 14, 15 years old. And we were just hanging out being silly, you know, and she's going to work, and we're like, don't go to work, come hang out, call in sick, you know, one of those kind of things. And I think, you know, the older sister was like, I don't know, 16, 17, you know, we're like 14. And I go and I jump on the hood of her car, and I'm like on the hood of her car, and she's in the driveway. I'm like, don't go, kind of is fun. And she backs out, and she starts driving down the street. And then she starts swerving the car like you see in the movies. Now, she's not like speeding, but she's going a decent speed to where she's waving me. And eventually, she like flings me to where I fly off. Again, it's not that fast. And we just all laugh. And I'm like, all right, fine, go to work. And she's like, bye. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And we just laughed, and we're like, okay, bye. We got mental issues. What's that guy that has, like, the headpiece? It was the 90s. I mean, I guess. You know how, like, our parents will be like, oh, it was a different time. Yeah, it was a different time, but we were morons. Jeez. And again, I got stories for days about things like getting hurt. Gosh, I was like, it's kind of a running joke that I'm accident prone. I lived in California for a while, and I have an Instagram still. I don't use it, but the only time I would ever use the Instagram was to post like, hey guys, I'm back in the hospital. I guess I'm doing my annual check-in with everyone, because I was in the hospital every year. Every year I'd end up in the hospital. Broken hand, broken finger, hit by a boat. Yeah, that's a story all in its own. That's a whole California Adventure Time issue with the boat thing. That's that's a whole video on its own. Oh my God, the boat. Oh, the boat. What else? See, now I want to tell you the boat story, but I can't tell you the boat story. That one's again, that's its own video. Oh man. Broke my hand in college playing basketball. That one was fun. That one, I screwed up on that one. It hurts. I broke my hand playing basketball, but the adrenaline, I didn't feel it. And I was like, oh, I'm fine, guys. And they're like, can we get some food on our way to the hospital? And I was like, yeah, man, I'm fine. Which was the worst idea. If you break something and it doesn't hurt right away, just go to the hospital. Because that delayed pain is coming. And it came. And I remember on the way, I'm like rocking in the backseat. I'm like, my hand is broken. I mean, it's like broken. Like the bone is like protruded. It didn't break the skin, but it's like pushed through the skin. You know, like you can see that that the bone is pushing through the skin. It didn't break it, but it's definitely there. Oh my God. And so the pain had kicked in. And I'm like, I got to get to the hospital. But, you know, we were delayed because everybody wanted to go eat. So I'm like rocking. I mean, I'm just like sweating. And I'm like, the pain was so bad. So if you ever break anything, please, please, please just go straight to the hospital. Even if it doesn't hurt, because the pain is coming. Oh, man, just everything is chaos. My life is chaos. But it's so much fun. I'm gonna have to do another one of these because I stuttered and I stopped too much in here. I had so many more details, but again, this is all a work in progress. And if you're here, thank you for joining. I really do appreciate this. This is a work in progress. This whole show thing, I'm gonna get it right. I'm starting off better. I'm every little show I clean it up just a little bit to compact it into something amazing, and it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I swear it's gonna be cool. Also, I don't know which weekend or which day. Maybe this weekend coming up, but we're gonna go and do an old Sunday morning live stream game. We'll all play together like we used to. We'll figure something out. If you're one of those people that used to play with us. Anyway, time is up. Oh my God. All right. You're all awesome. All right. Just have a great day. Thank you for watching. I'm out.